everyone, today I'll be reviewing this brand new movie just dropped on Netflix called Shirley, and this movie it is starring Regina King, Terrence Howard, and this movie it is directed by John Ridley. So in this movie you see Shirley Chisholm. She's the first black congresswoman. Like she get elected and she used to be just a school teacher in Brooklyn, and when she get elected to be a congresswoman in 1972, we see she get elected, and the next thing she do in this movie, it is like she runs for to be a president in 1972, and she tried to get nomination from Democrat Party, obviously, and we see, I guess this movie centers around, I guess, mainly about her campaign, how she was running this campaign to be the first, I guess, a black woman to be running for president candidate. And when I saw the first 10-15 minutes, I was like, whoa, this movie is really good, very inspiring, interesting, and especially when she goes to the parliament and she becomes this congresswoman, I definitely thought the plot, the way it is going, I was really excited to see this. But after that, once she start campaigning for this, I guess the presidential candidate in this movie unfortunately though became very dramatically less interesting, because not many people will enjoy this kind of story about running a presidential candidate. It's very boring idea, you know what I mean? But although it is based on a real story, so I guess she was running for this in real life. But I really wish I was watching more of her. How she was at the parliament. She was, this congresswoman, and how people was trying to put her down. And yeah, that's what I was interested in, I suppose. That being said, just because I didn't like when she was running for this candidate in 1972, and I was like, whoa, this is like... because she's not gonna get it. That is why that was the biggest challenge. Then again, it's based on true story. I understand that. The minute she was running for that, I don't know, I was like, that's really unbelievable. I guess it was never believable that she will get the nomination. But I guess that is the point for this movie. It is supposed to be inspiring story about her, and like she knew that obstacle is on her way, but still she was running anyway. Then along the way, I guess she inspired other people. But I don't know, for some reason, I couldn't believe it. What was she doing? Because if I was there, I would not be doing that. You know what I mean? It is a very inspiring story. I do want to acknowledge. However, a lot of people will, like, obviously is getting mixed score on Rotten Tomatoes, because overall it isn't very well made a movie. Like, it's very, like, how do I say, like, one dimension. But I think the audience watching this, they will find it interesting. Some people will like this. Most people who don't like political drama, they will not like this. But then again, if you know her story, I guess you can check it out. Although this movie is really long, a lot of repetitive scene. I was like this movie, it doesn't have very, I guess, emotional grabbing on the audience. Like, you actually don't know how Shirley Chisholm, she was in real life. This movie failed to show us that her relationship with her husband was like, there was one scene I was like, what does this even mean? I guess this movie, it's like kind of like a surface level story, which a lot of people will enjoy. But unfortunately, a lot of people also will not enjoy this. But as I was saying, the minute she was running for this, I was like, well, this is really unbelievable. Then again, you know what? That is the story. She was an inspiring lady. You gotta give her respect. A lot of time, this movie, I was really amazed by her courage, the way she talks, and I was like, whoa, this is really, like, this movie isn't bad. That is the thing. It's not bad by any means. A lot of time I was like, this is really inspiring, Shirley. You are an inspiring lady. That is that this movie, though, it is coming out a time where every movie is blaming like middle-aged white man. This movie, it is, although it is might be true back then. That is the thing about this. Might be true in this particular story back then, But this movie really goes out of way to point out, I'm trying to run this middle-aged, trying to, I guess, with the middle-aged white man. This movie so many times it pointed out, and because we are in this era where everything is saying that same thing, like all these white men are evil, bad, it kind of fell into this trap. I don't know when this movie was made. Maybe that time Netflix thought this was a good idea, but now it's coming out at a time where, I don't know, this kind of sentiment actually get backlash from the audience. I was feeling it. I'm just saying it's like about how people are thinking these days. That is why I'm adding this in my review. Nothing to do with the movie, but I was really getting tired of hearing. Then again, it made sense. The time this movie took place in, I just didn't like hearing about it every 10 minutes. Then again, yeah, this movie was unfortunately, it's not great by any mean. Obviously, that is why Netflix, they're releasing now very quietly on March. Because they know if this, these people on YouTube, if they would find this movie, they will tear this apart. That is why they're releasing very quietly on March I don't know how this will do on Netflix. I thought it was okay. It wasn't bad by any means. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. Please subscribe until I see you next time. Please take care.